Hello guys, welcome to the Minority Report Nigeria. I am Dozie.
And I'm Walter, and it's a rainy day today.
Yeah, praise be. We've been sent good weather.
Yeah.
Today, we will be talking about something that's honestly tiring.
It doesn't. The topic is that kind of thing. You just when it makes the news, you be like, really?
Seriously, people?
Why is this thing even happening?
So, the Benue State,
Prepare to roll your eyes.
is it House of Assembly? What do you call them? They had nothing better to do with their time with all the headsmen killings, between the headsmen killings and the flooding. They had nothing better to do with their time, but adjudicate on same-sex marriage prohibition.
Yeah, because there's so many Benue State citizens just looking to get married.
Yeah, and I mean, like,
it's a huge problem. Like, they're flooding the churches and the registries and the courts.
Please marry us.
Just getting married. Wanting to get married.
As though the federal law, the pre-existing federal law, is not enough. They just had to have state legislation. And the thing about it, I was reading, some excerpts online. It's just, the word is just really ridiculous. Like, there was something about any show of same-sex amorous relationship, whether directly or indirectly. And I'm wondering, what does within that context, what does indirectly mean?
This is Nigeria's the political playbook of
I know, right? That's the pattern.
This is how they do. I mean,
you feel
the election is right around the corner, and they feel like they have something they have to throw out to distract Nigerians. To get us
that's
talking,
the word, distract,
so that we don't know when we are voting what we're not supposed to be voting for. And it's just like, I don't even know, this country just gets me tired sometimes. Like,
sometimes
all the time.
I'm tired all the damn time.
Is there any government that we have, both state and federal, that actually does something for the people? When it kind of democracy that doesn't do anything for the people, they're all just out for
plutocracy.
It's
government
depressing.
For the rich alone, and then everybody else can die.
The thing is, in much the same way as that it backfired for Jonathan, I'm betting this is going to backfire for this government, because Jonathan was banking on all that distraction, all that noise, and all that. I'm giving Nigerians what they want to get, like.
But what Nigerians? But here's the thing, like, even yes, it will likely backfire. It probably will. But it then creates and compounds problems for people, because, and this is like, I would generally say that homophobia is the problem of everybody, but the burden of queer people. But still, like, with wording like amorous, whatever, indirect, or like shaking somebody, hug, because it leaves too much of a leeway that it can be interpreted any which way.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Dozie. You are even the emphasis you're placing on wording implies that you are giving credibility to the people who are interpreting this law.
I know, right?
They don't even have that credibility.
No,
they're not the police. Definitely not the police.
Definitely not.
These people, everything, all the arrests that make the news, all the arrests that they make that are regarding queer people, nothing about it. It has anything regarding the law in it. Like,
actually, yes. But that's what I'm saying. That's the problem. Like, this just throws a wide blanket that any idiot can, like, there's really no logic behind any of it. If you are going to go through the process to write a stupid law, can you at least do due diligence? Can you do the barest minimum?
Sometimes when you think about this, it's just like, okay, the other a few days ago, there was this report that made the news about a Lagosian who was on his way to see a client.
Oh, God.
Hustling, trying not to be a lazy
hustling while slim.
Trying not to be a lazy Nigerian, And then he gets stopped on the way by policemen, and they ask him for his ID, and he presents it, and then they starts to, according to his account, they start to scream and shout, and that they're arresting him, and it all boils down to, okay, like he asked what my offense, and they like, he's too slim and he looks gay, and I'm wondering what part of the law says this.
But really, like, how looks gay? What does that mean? How does somebody look
I saw
gay?
I saw a tweet from Olumide Makanjola, the former executive director of Tears, where he said something about also the LGBT community. They are now sharing Ashwebi of a certain kind of look. Where did they share this Ashwebi that nobody informed him of? And it's like,
You look gay.
there is this kind of annoying stereotype that, like, what does that even mean that he looks too slim? Is it now a crime
It's not a crime to be slim.
Eh?
It's not a crime to be slim.
I mean,
Eat
apparently
up,
if you're
people.
slim, that means that you're slim means it's a gay characteristic or what? I don't get it.
I have no idea. I'm the wrong person to ask.
But
That's the
point,
policeman.
it is these laws. Is this laws that give room for
All of this nonsense.
Yes.
Because nothing is clearly defined.
And this is why it frustrates me when you are on an online forum and you're interacting with other people on issues of the LGBT, and they whip out, it is the law, it is the law, it is the law.
What's law?
Well, saying it is a law doesn't put a full stop on the issue.
Of course
you don't
not.
say it is a law and then the rest of us should shut up, because you have to interrogate that law. In a situation like this now, indirectly or directly, amorous relation, what, like that? Do you understand the gap it leaves open? Even the SSMPA that was passed by Jonathan, there are many. If you interrogate the law, there are so many grammar. There is a lot of grammar in it that makes you like ask yourself, like, exactly what are these people playing at? So saying it is a law, it doesn't make it final. It doesn't mean just because a law has been enacted, then therefore
If that was the
should
case,
shut
the
up and
laws
just
wouldn't
take it.
change.
Because even laws, the fact that it's a law doesn't mean that it's just. The fact that something has been made a law doesn't mean it's justified or there's justice in it. Because at the end of the day, it is still people who make these laws, and
Exactly
you have to take into cognizance the fact that they may be making it to, suit a certain
Political
demographic,
agenda.
and ultimately doesn't fit the entire nation. What does it matter if we're a country that makes laws and there is no justice, and none of these laws are just? It's just I don't know.
The entire thing just leaves me tongue-tied, because it's like, I don't know, and it's the same thing. I don't even think this is particularly a Nigerian problem. It's but I hope that was, that's not true. So somebody shared something today in a group about the Egyptian government monitoring social media sites to hunting LGBT people.
This thing happened. This whole thing with Egypt, I think it started earlier this year, when Egypt was like Ghana in the way, like it's like some African countries in the way that this thing is frowned upon, but they're not really looking into it. And then one day, an Egyptian singer he threw a concert, and in that concert some people raised the LGBT flag, the rainbow flag, in the concert, and that was just a trigger. It suddenly felt like the authorities were now sitting up and noticing that, these people are getting audacious, like, what the fuck is that, So suddenly there was this huge crackdown. No, this was last year. There was this huge crackdown on the LGBT community. They were arresting people, they were throwing them in, they were, going through hookup sites to try and ensnare people and all that. And then there was this whole surprising, it made the international community like, oh my god, what is going on? Like, why is there just this massive? And this was on the heels of Chechnya doing the same thing. Now Egypt, and it just seemed like everybody, there was this momentum growing
Yes.
of and a homophobic tide sweeping against most nations, you know. But then they calm down, and then suddenly that thing comes up again.
Since Theresa May and apologizing for the sodomy laws,
You know, that's what I said.
is now
Egypt was
suddenly-
like Ghana too, because Ghana is in the same. Ghana was, of course, Ghana didn't support. They don't have and it's not an LGBT friendly country, and then their governor, their president makes that holds that interview with Al Jazeera where they asked him about the LGBT rights, and he made some comments that made it look like he was tolerant of LGBT, and just set Ghanaians off. Like there was this whole tide of people just spouting all sorts of homophobic nonsense. Religious leaders, education professors, you know, like people in authority positions were just, you know, airing their views, saying all sorts of things. Somebody said that he would rather resign than see, you know, this thing come to pass, and you know,
really?
like. And the funny thing is, like,
he's not done
nothing
with
is
his
even
tenure
happening.
yet.
All your president did was be a human being.
It's
You
just
know,
shocking.
and then
like,
okay, then like the British Prime Minister Theresa May now comes and says stuff about, like, it's even something you should even consider, the fact that they passed colonial laws onto you.
which are
Now
not
they
as a
have moved
culture.
away from colonial laws. They have seen that it is wrong. Shouldn't you guys, you know, like change those laws? And instead of her apology and her declaration being met with compassion and with some deliberate thinking and some you know, deliberations and coming together and be like, okay, let us see what we can do, there was a backlash. And suddenly Ghana is now pushing for an anti-gay bill. Like, it's just.
But I keep wondering, like, what is it about homosexuality that, you know, makes everybody just go crazy? Like,
Literally, if people check their common sense, their intelligence
At the door.
the moment you introduce the issue about,
like, what is it that makes everybody so violent, so ready to embrace violence? What, like, why?
The irony in that is you're embracing that violence is coming under the cloak of things that are orderly things, like the law. The law is supposed to be about order.
Yeah.
Religion is supposed to be about peace. But somehow they are used to mask violence.
Everything religions are supposed to be about.
Well,
like, yeah,
it is
that's what
supposed
is
to be.
peddled. Like, that's what but religions really aren't about any one single thing. They are just all over the place. It depends on people who are involved. It depends on, you know, but that's a conversation for another day.
Anyway, we will be monitoring this development. We will be watching Benue State and the world at large, and Ghana and Nigeria, and noting how all these laws that they are bringing up to squash a minority that has in no way proven to be a problem to the country or to the nation or to the economy or to the society, how it's working out, how it's going to be working out. I just, you know, it's when these things happen, I feel like I have this optimism that these things are things that need to happen for a revolution to take place.
Yes.
That these are the kind of the extremities that these minorities have to endure to get to the point where they can actually push back.
So a breaking point.
So, you know, a breaking point. I don't like in Kenya. There's this whole the pushback there is amazing. Like the way they are countering their governments with suits and countersuits and all that. It's just it's a promising thing, and I wish. I wish that kind of movement in Kenya for all other African countries like Nigeria and Ghana and all these other places where these minorities have been persecuted. It's just, I feel the optimist in me wants to see these things as a necessary evil that has to happen for the community to get to the part where they say, you know what, you know, this is what we do. This is what we need to get our rights, and we need to.
Because really, historically speaking,
that.
you know, nobody gives anybody their rights. It's something you have to fight for.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, people have to be pushed to the point where they can't be pushed any further, and then there's pushback.
The only option is just to move forward and push forward. So
we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
we
keep our
are
fingers
watching the
crossed.
words of Wendy Williams. I will be watching.
I
We will
will
be
be
monitoring
watching.
this fight.
It's fine. That's it on today's episode. Until we come your way next time, hopefully not with silly, dreary news. Dozie,
And Walter.
and this has been the Minority Report. Bye.
Bye bye.